Hey guys, and welcome to Faith Works Designs. I'm Faith, and today we're working on a really fun project that I have been wanting to do for a while. When we were in New York in October for my daughter's graduation present, we went to the Harry Potter store. That's the one place she really wanted to go. And when we were walking around the store, I kept seeing all of these really neat reusable bags. They had some really cool like prints on them that I'm like, that would make a really cool bag. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I took that one reusable bag and be able to make it into a purse. In today's video, I'm using the Bag Stock Designs handbag. I think it's the tote. I'll link it here. It's a really cool, fun design. And it made this bag really come together pretty quickly. Alright, so if you're ready to see how it's done, let's get started. Alright, so I've got everything interfaced and ready to go. It did kind of like bubble up a little bit. I'm using Decovil Light. I just wanted to use the Decovil just to kind of make it a little sturdier for the body and all of that. But it did just in a few spots. So make sure you don't have steam on. When I just have it on there every day for normal use. But anyway, turn that off, just regular, kind of lower your heat a little bit. Just make sure that whatever interface you're using is adhering well before you move on. So it does take interfacing, just make sure that you use a lower heat. Alright, so I've got the front panel done, and I just wanted to kind of give you guys some tips, things I learned while I was sewing with it. So when you're sewing this bag, it kind of is like you're sewing paper. So I got a size 12 needle, and then I also, like on everything, I extended my stitches to a 4. That way it wasn't like constantly poking into this material, because if you had it at like a 2.5, it would just poke, and it would perforate your fabric. So you definitely want to extend your stitches, even when you're putting everything together. Extend your stitches with a 4. The next thing I had thought about doing originally was there's like a spray that you can get, and there's like an adhesive that you can get to make this more like a leather. But the more that I felt it, the more that I felt like it was fine just the way it was, and I didn't want to have like the extra expense. This is supposed to be like a fun, cheap project. So I wouldn't put any kind of facing on it. I mean, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. I mean, you could even put like a clear vinyl over top of this just to kind of make the longevity of it. It's up to you, but I actually really like the way that it's coming out right now and how it looks. It's going to be a really cool bag. So let me get sewing. Oh, you guys, I am so happy with how this turned out. It looks so good. I'm going to insert some pictures towards the end so you guys can kind of see it in better lighting and all. But it turned out so good. It's a little shiny. It's a little shiny, but it's really cool and it feels kind of neat. I don't know, it just looks really, really cool. And I didn't think about it till after I was halfway done. I got this keychain from the Potter store when we were there, and I was like, you know what, that would be cute together. So anyway, it's finished. I don't know about you guys, but this bag, I think personally, turned out amazing. I love the way it looks. I like the sheen on it. I really am kind of digging the texture to it. It almost feels like a leather, but it's not. You know what I mean? So a couple tips and tricks for what I did in the video. First thing, make sure that you get 2 bags. Why 2 bags, you might ask? Because you might end up accidentally cutting something upside down that you did not mean to cut upside down, and you have to grab the second bag to be able to do the back of the bag. I accidentally cut it so that Honeydukes was upside down, so grab 2 bags just in case. Another thing that you're really going to need to do is take your time, because of the medium that you're working with. It's not like regular fabric where you can just bulldoze through it. You're going to need to use a 12 or lighter. I would almost suggest going ahead and using like a domestic for this, just because the more perforations you put in it, the the more of a tendency it's going to be to kind of, when you bend it and crack it, like, you know, pushing these out of the way so that you can top stitch, the more chances you have of your bag kind of ripping. If you're using a 2.5 stitch length, your needle is just going pop, 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 and it's perforating your fabric. So what I found the best thing to do was to use a 4 stitch length, and it seemed to work okay. Now I did see the perforations like when I was folding things down so that I could top stitch them, or when I was folding things over. So you want to make sure that you extend your stitch length. The 12 needle that I had helped, but just remember to change your 12 needle out when you go to do the lining or whatever you're using for the lining, because I forgot and I broke a needle because I was just sewing it like it was regular fabric. So be careful with that. For the outside, if that's what you're doing, is just the material for the bags, just use a 12 needle or something thinner, finer, for the outside of the bag, and then the inside of the bag, change your needle out. As far as interfacing goes, you can use whatever you think would work best. For me, I wanted to do Decoville Light, and that way it kind of gave the bag more structure. Just be careful when you're ironing it, because you don't want it to get too hot. It might melt it. I mean, this is plastic, so you don't want to melt it. The Decoville Light adhered, but it did kind of bubble a little bit. So make sure that you turn your heat down just a little bit, and that way it doesn't completely melt everything together. But for the most part, it was pretty easy to work with. It came together really quickly because this pattern is amazing. Yeah, I love how it turned out, and it's very, very cute, and I can't wait for my customers to see it. So, and yes, I'm well aware that I do not have a handle yet because I don't have the hardware that I need. So that's another suggestion. When you go to make something, make sure that you have all the hardware that you're going to need. I do it all the time. Anyway, if you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up, or if you want to subscribe and see some of the more videos that I have coming out. I really enjoyed kind of testing myself with another material and only having so much material to work with to make this bag. It would be something kind of fun to do, and I actually have a mood bag that I got from the mood store when I was there, and I've been really tempted to make myself a purse with that. So if you want to see that, leave it in the comment section down below and tell me that's something that you want to see. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, something I probably forgot to cover, leave those in the comment section down below, and I do check those daily. Thanks for joining us again on Faithworks Designs. Bye, guys.